What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly home of Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today we are on episode 11 of Should the Memphis Grizzlies Draft, and we are talking about Allen Graves out of Santa Clara. And today we will be answering the question, should the Grizzlies draft him, pass on him, or laugh at him for wanting to wear Beale Street blue? Let's get into it. Before we go any further, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the beginning of the next basketball season, and I need your help to get there. Thank you very much for clicking on this video.
Wait, I did come in for the 808. 808. Big man in the paint, iTalkHoops. Lay up, free throw and swoosh. Throw and swoosh.
All right, Grizz fans, we are finally getting to the guys in the draft who could be available with our 16th pick. Allen Graves is a 6'9" freshman forward out of Santa Clara. Now, curiously, he was not a starter for the Broncos. He was their sixth man. He played in the West Coast Conference, not the Big Ten, not the SEC, not the Big 12, the WCC. And people in draft circles are still putting him in the first round. That is the central tension with Allen Graves. Everything about his surface profile, mid-major, bench role, limited minutes, no obvious athleticism, tells you to move on. And then you look at the numbers and you cannot move on. Sam Vecenie called him one of the top analytic darlings in some time. And you are a Memphis Grizzlies fan, so you know our front office loves analytic darlings. The Reddit draft community is split down the middle on him. Spreadsheet fans love him. Eye test people don't see it. Now, I am one of those guys who is a mix between the eye test and analytics. So I'll let you know what I see when I see him. But first, let's get to the stats. 34 games for Santa Clara, 11.8 points, 6.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.9 steals, and almost 1 block per game off the bench in 22 minutes. Per 40, that rounds out to about 3.4 steals and 1.7 blocks per game. His true shooting percentage was 61.5%. He shot 41% from three on 6.9 attempts per 100 and 75% from the line. His box plus minus is 12.7, which you know puts me at a quandary because it's over 10 and he's a freshman. His offensive box plus minus was 8.5. His defensive box plus minus was 4.2. His steal percentage of 4.9% and his block percentage of 5%, both at those rates simultaneously, is nearly uncharted territory for a forward. His turnover percentage of 5.5% ranks 99th percentile. Low mistakes. His offensive rebounding percentage of 13.9% ranks 99th percentile. He had an assist-to-turnover ratio of 2.5. He has 63 assists and only 25 turnovers across 35 games. The analytical tools flagged him as one of the top possession changers in this class. The analytical profile is real. The competition level is an asterisk. Him coming off the bench is an asterisk. And there's some other things that give me pause. Now, at the combine, he measures 6'7" and 3/4", so we are calling him 6'9" and plus. 226 pounds, a wingspan of 7 feet. Everything looks great. That is real good. Real good for a small forward, pretty good for a power forward. Now, the combine athleticism. Standing vertical, 27.5 inches, 20th percentile. Max vertical, 34 inches, 25th percentile. Lane agility, 11.76, 12th percentile. Sprint, 3.447 seconds, 5th percentile. This is where the conversation gets hard. Those athleticism numbers are bottom of the class, and it shows on film. What he does have is a 6'9" frame at 19 years old that has room to add functional strength, real coordination for his size, and he obviously has a strong basketball IQ. The question every front office has to be asking themselves every night is whether that IQ can survive when the athletes get bigger, stronger, and faster at the NBA level. So let's talk about what he does well. Number one, defensive playmaking and disruption. I already told you, he has a steal percentage and block percentage of 5% each. At the same time, his defensive block plus minus is 93rd percentile. His stop ranks is 97th percentile. He did it all off the bench in 22 minutes a game. What makes it work is not athleticism. It is anticipation. He reads the decision maker like a free safety. He stunts, blitzes, and rotates before the play develops. His hands are arguably the best in the class. He is precise in his ability to rip and dislodge the ball. His 7-foot wingspan gets him into plays that his foot speed does not allow. His disruption is undeniable. Number two, floor spacing and shooting. He shot 41% from three, 82nd percentile. His mid-range percentage was 44.6%, which is 85th percentile. He took most of his threes off pick and pop and catch and shoot situations and converted 43 percentile and 37 percentile respectively. He shot better than 44% on guarded threes, which tells you the shot is not heat check dependent. He has touch. At 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, that floor spacing is a legitimate NBA weapon. And third, rebounding, screening, and connective passing. This is the role player DNA that he has. His offensive rebounding percentage of 13.9% ranks 99th percentile. He averaged 6.5 boards off the bench. He shot 59% on putbacks across 52 possessions. He also was 79% as a cutter, which exemplifies the basketball IQ more than almost any number on this sheet. His 2.5 assisted turnover ratio I talked about and 5.5% turnover percentage are both 99th percentile. He does not make mistakes, which is crucial for a role player, and it kills a lot. That mistake making kills a lot of role players. It is the one thing that I dislike so much about Vince Williams in a Grizzlies jersey. He made too many mistakes for somebody who was a role player. Now, the concerns, the athleticism floor. Now, I told you about everything that went on at the combine. He was a bottom of the group athlete. And if you watch the tape, you see it. No explosion. He doesn't beat people off the dribble. He is slow. The question is whether his IQ can compensate for that at the highest level of basketball on the planet. That remains to be seen. Secondly, competition level. He played in the West Coast Conference, and he didn't even start. He only played 22 minutes a game, and there was a reason for that. He has the Jaren Jackson slap ass disease. He commits a lot of fouls. He has a very high foul rate. Opposing players also shot 54% overall near grades. That was rated poor by Synergy. meaning he is not actively creating a turnover or disrupting if he is not actively creating a turnover or disrupting a play, he is actually being scored on at a high rate. That is a real concern for a player who will face NBA caliber athletes. Also, it is noted that the Santa Clara's defense was better with him off the court than on the court. And that is something to think about for somebody with his defensive numbers analytically. And lastly, finishing and shooting consistency. He shot 52% on layups, average by Synergy. He made 24 of 25 dunks, which inflated his finishing numbers somewhat. His 63.3% rim percentage is at 44 percentile. That's not a strength. On the shooting side, he took just 2.6 threes per game. He is a low-volume shooter. He had 2 separate 3-game stretches early in the season where he did not attempt a single three. The shot is real, but the volume, the consistency, and the want need to grow. How does he fit in Memphis? Well, I've told you. Now, if you look at his profile, 6'9", 7-foot wingspan, analytical darling. He appears to be the prototypical Grizzly player from a front office perspective. However, the athleticism, and if you watch the NBA playoffs, you see how important athleticism is. Athleticism is an issue. There is always going to be a minimum threshold on athleticism in the league. And if the draft shapes up to where it looks like it's shaping up, and the Grizzlies end up taking Cameron Boozer at 3, the athleticism question gets louder because you cannot surround Cameron Boozer, who will be the North Star of the Memphis Grizzlies, with other inferior athletes. Now, what is his comp? There's a lot of them. There's no real comp for somebody like him. People say Kyle Anderson. People say Boris Diaw. I don't really see the Kyle Anderson comp. To me, if you want to personally see what my comp for him is, it is a T-move version of Cameron Boozer, who is also in this draft and is also an analytic darling. They have basically the same strengths and weaknesses, except Cameron Boozer's strengths are stronger. And he is a scorer by nature. Graves is not a scorer by nature, and his weaknesses are weaker. He is way less of an athlete than any of the guys other people try to comp him to. Even Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson was way more fluid, especially with the ball in his hand, than Graves is. So he is a very hard person to get a comp to. Smart defenders compensate for their lack of athleticism. Dumb ones cannot. Everything on film and in numbers say Allen Graves is not dumb, but I don't know who to comp to. So, the question we are answering, though, should the Memphis Grizzlies draft Allen Graves? And I am going to say my head says no. I would pass on him because there's just a lot of things with him. I get to the point where if you have too many negatives that I can't deal with them. The athleticism, if that was the only thing, I could deal with it. The not starting at Santa Clara, questionable. The team being better defensively with him off the court, very questionable. The foul rate, very questionable. He has some things that I am willing to be wrong about. Allen Graves is an analytical darling. He is the type of player that most analytic-based draft guys are going to pinpoint as a potential steal. But the thing that people forget about with these potential steals in the draft, who are analytical darlings, they have a base level of athleticism to be functional in the NBA. I don't think Graves has that, and I'm willing to be wrong about that. The athleticism numbers are real, and they are a problem. The competition level is real, and it is a problem. The finishing limitations are real, and it is a problem. But sometimes that outlier is staring you in the face. Is Allen Graves that outlier? Is he the superstar role player staring us dead in the face? Now, the things that I can't answer is physically, does he have some athleticism in his body that can be brought out by NBA conditioning programs? I don't know. We'll find out. Grizzly fans, what do you think about Allen Graves? Do you think he passes the muster to wear Beale Street blue? I want to hear what you think about Allen Graves in the comment section. Let me know. And you can also let me know who you would like me to profile next. Remember, I'm Memphis X, and I talk hoops. See you in the next one.
I did coming for the 808. Big man in the paint, I talk hoops.